Thank you for watching our video on self-defense techniques. This technique is evading the lightning and is required for beginner students at Ellis County Martial Arts. In our school, lightning refers to punches. This particular technique is for a lunging punch. Your opponent is probably at least 2 steps away from you and decides to cross that distance by putting his entire body weight behind the punch. He's committing to the punch. Let's take a look at what that attack would be before we begin the technique. So Mr. Bustamante, if you would, come from over here. I'm just going to step over on this side. So this is going to represent my head, my hand right here. He's going to lunge in, boom, right. That's what he's looking for. All right, we're going to catch him before he gets all the way into that punch, but this is a committed punch. So if you're practicing with your partner and the range seems wrong, like you can't reach your partner, it may very well be that he's not committing to the punch during training. So you can go slow, but you have to commit to the range. This is to get you the idea behind you that not everyone's going to stand in front of you and throw boxer-style punches. All right. So we'll start off slow. From this position, as he comes in with the punch, I'm going to move up slightly, the parry, and use a ridge hand strike into the groin. I'm going to move off the angle. He's coming down this 45-degree angle, and I'm going to move off at least over here to the 45, and I'm going to use the ridge hand strike, or the reverse hand sword strike, into the groin. Now, of course, in class, we take it easy, but in reality, your goal would be to hit him in the groin as hard as you can and get him to stop. You might even drop him from there, but the technique goes on in case that doesn't happen. The left hand is going to do an inward parry, or circular move. Remember, the parries use force with force instead of against it. I'm redirecting his punch. I'm not actually trying to stop it. I just want to make sure that it doesn't hit me. So I'm doing 3 things at one time. I'm moving the target, which is me. I am moving the weapon, which is his punch, and I'm counterattacking into the groin down low into a zone that he's probably not paying much attention to at this point. All 3 of those things are done on a count of 1. So as he comes in from here, and 1, there's the hit. All right, he bends over. Now, his next move from here may very well be a hammer type strike or a back fist strike or an elbow coming up. So I'm going to bring up my elbow from here, and just briefly in this position, it's going to act as a check in case he's coming back. But from there, I'm going to rotate it around, and I'm going to hammer strike him into the base of the skull. So even if he is planning on hitting me, he's going to run into a pretty hard blow to the base of the skull from here. All right, so from here, hammer comes in from there. Notice the left hand is starting to chamber back over here. I will slide my right hand down to grab and check that arm anywhere. Now, there's a very good chance at this point he's going to be groggy, but let's assume that we've got somebody that's really got some fight left in him. So I'm going to grab this, and my left hand is going to be a punch. It really shouldn't be up this high. I'm showing the camera. All right, and I'm going to drive that uppercut punch. I'm moving off a little bit to the side so you can see it. I'm going to drive that up into the kidney and rib area right in here. All right, now I'm going to hit that as hard as I can. That's not a tap. All right, I want to cause some severe pain there and get him to start buckling at the knees. All right, I'm going to break down his height zone. I'm checking his width to some degree, but I really want to get his height down from here. All right, so we had the hammer to the base of the skull, and then the shot comes into the kidneys. It makes his leg bend. I'm going to do a knee strike to the thigh. Notice how he dropped to the ground. I've got one more move here in case I need it. I'm going to pivot and drop here using my kneeling stance as a weapon. All right, now, from this position, if his foot was up like this, which it often will be, and I were to drop my knee right in here, that is going to break those bones in the foot or the ankle. So in class, during training, I have the students put their foot down flat, so if it does hit, it will really hurt, but do less damage. But understand that if that foot is up, he's probably got a broken ankle at this point. All right, from here, crunch coming down, and then he'll be out of the picture at that point. Now, you can stop this technique, of course, at any stage here that's necessary. Obviously, if you hit him in the groin on the first move and he drops to the ground and goes into the fetal position, the technique is pretty much over. But the rest of it continues with, what if this person is a lot tougher than you gave him credit for? So you need to follow through with these moves until he's on the ground. The last move is a pretty serious move, but I've included it because I do have a certain number of students who are a smaller frame or not as strong, and it may be a situation where you need to make sure this person doesn't get up and follow. You need a way to exit. You need to get out. And by dropping your weight and your knee coming down from here, you're using your entire body as a weapon instead of just relying on the strength of one limb. And it's important that you understand that. And the goal of this is to disable him enough where you can run away and get away from him. Let's take a look at it from this angle. Okay, all right, again, we're still going slow motion so you can kind of see. All right, so he's coming in from in here, step off, hit, hammer, uppercut punch, knee strike, and drop from here. Let's look at it one more from that angle. Okay, slow motion. All right, he lunges in, 1, 2, 3. Check and hit. This is one smooth motion. Hammer, check, uppercut punch, knee strike to the thigh, drop down and break. Notice through the whole thing, I still had a hold of his arm. Until I'm done, I've got a hold of his arm. All right. If he's super aggressive at this point, I've got all kinds of other options I can come in from here using that arm as a tool. All right. Right now, this is a more simple technique with only strikes in it. Okay. Thank you, Mr. Bustamante. Evading the lightning. Thank you.